Now then, people, it's Joe, it's all Leeds TV, and it is time for another opposition pre-match chat. You'll recognise the man I have with me. It's Buvey, a City fan of 90minute.com and many other stuff. I'll put his YouTube in the description below as well. And also, you're still currently leading All Smart, aren't we, Buvey? You're still top of the shops with your 6 questions correctly answered. So yeah, we'll see. Might have to get you an award at some point. Eh?
Well, I should have got more. I messed up the Michael Owen question. I thought you meant there was a question on Michael Owen. I fucked that up, but what can you do?
Yeah, we'll get you back, mate, at some point, and you can see if you can better the 6. But yeah, I just wanted to, as I do each week, just have a chat with an opposition fan looking ahead to the game on Saturday. We were just talking off there. I'm a little bit nervous for this one. More so than I was for the Liverpool game, only just because Liverpool, it was the first game. I knew we'd be up for it and ready and raring to go on. As I've said on many things, I genuinely thought we'd give Liverpool a game. I just look at City and I think the hiding they received off Leicester, I don't know, have they got a point to prove? And I noticed yesterday as well, he played a pretty strong lineup in the Cup, right? And you came out 3-0 winners. De Bruyne played, Sterling. So what do you think the thinking was behind that, Buvey? Was it to maybe get some confidence back in the lads, or?
I think it was a big sort of FU to the squad. I think it was Guardiola. It's a bit like when I don't know if you played Sunday League back, when you were younger, but if the manager didn't like your performance, he'd get you to run after the match and do running after the match. It was a bit like that. I thought he just said, go out there and this is a joke. You've got to go out there and smash Burnley. No offense to Burnley, but obviously we should be destroying them, and we did, and we played really, really well. The Leicester result was massive. It was one of the worst results I've ever seen. Maybe as a City fan in the last 15, 20 years. Honestly, it's right up there as one of the worst results I've seen from City. Guardiola, money or not, it was an awful performance. I mean, if Leeds conceded 5 at home to anyone, you'd be gutted, wouldn't you? You'd be absolutely gutted. 5 at home.
Yeah, I think I read as well, Buvey, that I did read that it's the first time ever that Pep Guardiola side have conceded 5 goals against, and he's had 686 games managed, and only one team's managed to do that. So, I mean, it really was that bad, wasn't it?
Yeah, I genuinely think it was up there for me. Maybe top 3 worst Guardiola performances of his career. Maybe number 1. It's like when you lose to a top side in the Champions League, when you lose to Liverpool, whatever you want to lose to Liverpool that we have done, 3-0, 5-0, whatever. That's fair enough because they're a quality side. Leicester, look, they came 5th last season, didn't they? It was poor. It was so poor, and that's what concerns me about Leeds, because I think Leeds aren't that dissimilar to Leicester, are they? You've got energy, you've got a lot of confidence, you've got players that we're not necessarily that used to. We're not necessarily going to be knowing how to track your players, the formation you play. Why would it be the same? I think you're giving us a lot of confidence, mate.
Yeah, maybe so. I mean, looking at that back line, it was absolutely terrible, wasn't it, on the weekend? The penalties you gave away were just comical for me. The players getting on the wrong side. Let them run with the ball. Don't be bringing them down. It was, especially from experienced pros as well in Mendy and Walker. Let's be right. It was shocking. And I know it was mentioned, I think, by Scott on 90minute.com, and he makes a good point. Rodri's interview after the game, blaming them for playing a certain type of way. Get over yourself, mate. You need to win games. It's not about how people play. You've just conceded 5, pal, What do you think the issue is, mate, at City at the moment?
Look, firstly, everything is in context of the fact we got about 6 or 7 major injuries. Laporte only played his first game last night. He was actually really he was class. We got a clean sheet. As soon as Laporte comes back, I know it was only the League Cup, but we got a clean sheet. We've played really well against Wolves. We didn't get a clean sheet. So that being said, it's obviously the injuries, and then there's a lack of leadership. I think Rodri came out. He reminded me of that the sort of the little lad in school that always tries to speak up against the teacher, and it didn't look right, Rodri. He's still a young lad. He's still young to the squad, new to the squad. I think Company could have come out and said something like that, and it would have been a little bit different. It did look a little bit out of touch and a little bit out of place, but I like the fact he had a bit of energy, a bit of balls about him to say something like that. Look, he wasn't happy with the performance. Look, I think it's a bit cheeky to say that Leicester were playing bad because they scored 5. we lacked that all game. We lacked all spine of a team. Ake, Eric Garcia, who obviously had that rugby cap on. I mean, people. Maybe I'm the only one who picked up on it. He didn't wear a rugby cap because he was like really afraid of getting injured. He didn't want it to scupper the transfer to Barcelona. So we've got a player that's wearing a rugby cap that whatever that your performance, he's literally showing the world he doesn't want to play for City. He doesn't want to risk his head. He wants to go back to Barcelona, which is fair play. It's in his right as a player, very talented young player. I think he is. But we've got players like that in the squad. It's not right at the moment, leadership-wise. It's just not right. It needs to come down from top down from Guardiola.
Yeah, no, I heard what you'd said about the cap thing, and I was laughing really because I was like, wow, is that the main reason he's put a Petr Cech scrum cap on just for the move to Barca?
Didn't want him to do it. The medical staff said you don't have to do it. It might impede your vision, it might be uncomfortable. Him and his agent were so genuinely worried about it, about the transfer to Barcelona, which obviously hasn't happened yet, and they're still negotiating over 5, 6, 7 million. So we've got a player like that. I mean, imagine what would Bielsa do if Luke Ayling was doing that? You know what I mean? He wouldn't be in the squad, would he?
No, definitely not, mate. No, we seen last season when Pontus Jansson, or the season before, refused or tried to stop Villa scoring a goal. He was bombed out in the summer, you know, and from a Leeds United fan perspective, he was up there with our talisman, you know, as it were. He used to give everything. So like you said, Bielsa wouldn't stand for it. Not a chance. What do you think then? Do you think is Guardiola maybe coming to the end of his tenure at City? Do we think it's I mean, what are your thoughts on Guardiola? Is he done at City, do you think?
Yeah, I think he's closer to done than staying. I don't see him staying for like a little bit of time. I think he's either going to sign a big extension, maybe a 3-year deal, 2-year deal, or he'll go this before the end of the season. I think it's one of the two. I just don't think you can carry on like that. Look, football comes first before the image, the identity of who Guardiola is, all this beautiful football. If you're getting banged every week, I mean, I'm not saying we are getting banged every week, but losing 5, if we lose to Leeds this weekend, it's very, very, very bad. It's very bad. It is. It's awful. So I think he's, in my opinion, as a City fan, I just like managers who are kind of loyal to the club and want to be there. And I even go back to way back. Kevin Keegan was manager when I was young, and he was a very sort of rousing manager, very supportive of the club. He never tried to kick out or anything like that, and I kind of like that. Stuart Pearce was kind of similar. Look, not top managers, but Mancini got kicked out, and he was loyal to the club. With Guardiola, the fact he hasn't signed a contract when I think he's got about 10 months or 11 months left on his contract. So it's awful. It shows a lack of. If he loves the club, the club have obviously offered him something. The club love him.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
You know, they give him a 10-year deal tomorrow. Honestly, they would. The fact there hasn't been any sort of movement from him shows maybe his heart's not in the. I don't think his heart's in it necessarily. Yeah. I could be completely wrong. He needs to sign a deal soon.
Yeah, because that can only foster a sort of like negative attitude in the dressing room as well, like in terms of incomings, outgoings, players wanting to sign new deals because they're uncertain on whether he'll be around, you know. So that can't be great. And like you say, as a fan, you just like tie it, like sign the deal so we know that you're going to be here. And while that uncertainty's on, it's going to play out on the pitch. I'm really disappointed, Buvey, because I've said that I thought City would win the league, and I look how good Liverpool are, and Jota looked like he'd been there forever, you know, and obviously Thiago, and I just think, is it done already after 3 games? Like, I'm disappointed, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's disappointing. Yeah, looks like they might run away with it. But from a City perspective, you've mentioned injuries. Huge for Leeds United that Aguero and Jesus are out. Is Rory Delap's son going to lead the line, or will Sterling play in that false 9 sort of position? What can we expect from a lineup perspective?
I want it to be basically a 4-6-0 formation. I want us to play a load of midfielders, Sterling to drop deep, and I want us to just really keep the ball, because you're good at keeping the ball.
Yeah,
we're not good off the ball. We need to keep the ball to have any chance of the game. Look, Liam Delap, he scored a great goal against Bournemouth. Fair play. Look, he's 17. He came on and he actually flicked on a great header as well against Leicester. He looks so raw. He looks so out. He did look out of place a little bit, and for a game against Leeds, especially away as well. I mean, imagine if there are fans there as well. Oh, Jesus Christ!
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? Oh, that's the big thing. I'm very, very happy there's no fans at Ellen Road. I'm very gassed. That's a little bit. Yeah, I want 4-6-0. 3 midfielders: Fernandinho, Rodri, De Bruyne. If we get Bernardo back in that squad, I think we're obviously a lot stronger than Sterling and Mahrez. Foden might play instead of Bernardo, obviously, but Laporte back in there. We should be beating Leeds with that. But then if he changes it up, he tried 4-4-2 Guardiola at the end of the Leicester game. We got smashed. We honestly got smashed. If he does that, we could lose to Leeds very, very easily.
Yeah. I mean, so with Laporte obviously playing last night, do we expect him to be? I assume he's going to be fit and ready on Saturday. Who will partner him? Do you think? Will it be Garcia, or you just don't know? Do you think the new signing will come straight in, or?
I'm not sure if he can. I might be wrong. I don't think he can this week. I might be wrong. He is fit to play, sort of physical wise, but. Look, Laporte has to play. The issue is, look, Wolves was a good performance. There was a bit of continuity because Stones has been in that squad for so long. Stones played against Wolves, and he gets another injury. And we're just talking. I mean, there's one of the biggest, most upsetting thing as an England fan. I don't know if you agree about John Stones, because if he just played 30 games a season for the last 5 years, we're talking like the next kind of Rio Ferdinand potential level back for England, and he gets injured so much. It's very. Yeah. It's horrible as a City fan, because he would have played against Leicester. I think he would have given us a better chance than Eric Garcia, to be honest. So I think if he's fit, I'd like to see him in Laporte, because I think they're class together. They're unbelievable together, John Stones and Laporte. But if he's not fit, maybe you have to drop Fernandinho back there. I'd rather have Fernandinho than Eric Garcia, basically. I don't play. Can you play Ake and Laporte? I'm not sure how that works. Yeah.
Well, Bamford's on fire anyway, so we'll have to see. I think he'll have his work cut out against Laporte if he indeed does start, which I think he will. I'm really looking forward to the battle with KDB and Calvin Phillips. I know Phillips did an interview prior to the season starting and saying that was the one he was most looking forward to playing, because he's just elite, isn't he? Is there anyone from a Leeds perspective you're looking out for? I guess. I know as a Leeds fan, there's no amazing individuals. It's more a case of the sum of the parts. Of course, Calvin, etc. But no standout stars. It's about the unit. So when I say, is there anyone specifically you're looking out for? There might not be, but what is it you see from a Leeds perspective?
Well, I'm pretty sure. I'm right in thinking Jack Harrison can't play, can he?
No, he can't, which is so unfortunate.
Obviously, he's someone that I've looked out for, and his mobility is great from sort of midfield position. Obviously, Click's been classy, isn't it? Is it Click?
Yeah, Mateus Click. Yeah,
and he's always. I swear he's in it. He plays every game, doesn't he? He's fit.
Yeah, like he had almost like 98 game run, but then when we won the league, they went out on the piss, and we then played Derby, and he was dropped just due to the fact that he was steamed. There was pictures of him with cigars and everything. So, but then he was straight back in the next game. Yeah, so he's a special talent. He was Polish international.
Yeah. Look, Bamford for me, it's one of those where I don't think he's a top. I don't think he'll ever get to world class level. He might be a good Premier League striker. But the fact is that some strikers like him, they go on little runs, and there's no reason to say he couldn't get through our centre backs, to be honest. And so you got to look out for him just based on his form as well.
Yeah, obviously with Harrison being out, it is a massive loss. It's frustrating because I know we could have made the deal permanently this summer, 8 million. What we've done is passed it on to next year, and we'll sign him for 10, I think. So he's in effect our player, so it's a little bit frustrating that he's not going to start, because he's not going to show up at City. He's not going to go back there. So it is a little bit frustrating. I do think we will lose quite a lot with him being out on the left. Alioski might come in, which, he doesn't have the final ball and the ingenuity and the finish of what Harrison has. He can snatch at chances and stuff. I do believe he will come in, and other than that we'll play with the same lineup. I'll just ask for you, what are you what your score predictions for the weekend, Buvey?
I think I'll be confident enough to say I think we'll get a draw. I think it'll be at least a draw, maybe like a 2-2. But it could easily be. Honestly, if you click and we play anything like we did against Leicester, even for 5 minutes, we could be 4-0 down. I said to a mate, I was like, look, if we play against Liverpool tomorrow, well, no, the day after Leicester, that's when I said it, we lost 10-0. It was that bad. It was awful. So if Leeds really go at us like they did against Liverpool, don't give a fuck about who we are as a club in terms of all these players, just go for us man for man, that you could bang us 4-0. Honestly, you could bang us. It could be a capitulation. So
yeah.
I'll do 2-2, but I think you could actually beat us.
Oh man, it'd be absolutely huge. Absolutely huge if we did. I look at the game. I do think it's going to be high scoring. You know, both teams will score. I think it'll be much like that Liverpool game, just because of how both sides, you know, play. I do know that Guardiola has had Bielsa's number before in previous competitions, obviously in Spain, Bilbao, Barca. I remember a quote where Bielsa had given Guardiola all his dossier on Barcelona after the game, and Guardiola had turned to him and said, "You know more about my club than me." So it's a good narrative. It's going to be a good story. I just hope we can show up like we have done all season thus far. You know, 6 points from the first 3, great return. We've now got City and Wolves. If we can take 3 points from them 2, would be huge. 4 would be amazing. So hopefully we can get some. I'm just really nervous. I see City as a bit of a wounded animal, and if they're on song, it's going to be tough. But the fact that you haven't got Aguero or Jesus, that's a massive plus. I don't want to give me a score prediction because hey,
get off the fence, mate. Go on.
Yeah, okay. We'll go 3-2. We'll go 3-2 Leeds United. 3-2 Leeds United. It's bold.
Yeah,
it could, mate. It could. Great stuff. So yeah, I think we'll leave it there, Buvey. I think we've got enough there. Really good chat. Really excited for the game, and good luck, man. Enjoy watching Bielsa ball. Yeah.